London Classic is happening again. I wonder how many people are visiting World Championships and then staying for the London Classic. At least one person, Fabiano, has to play both events. Okay, since there's so much talk about the London, I'm going to play a London. I visited London for the first time back in February. I was flying through back from Asia. Really cheap flight from Singapore to London, and then a really cheap flight from London to New York. One of the best ways to get from Asia to back to the U.S. And then no, I went to London 2 more times over the summer just to fly through. Those flights are crazy cheap, and their airport lounge is really nice. It's one of the things traveling internationally, best to get lounge access. Deadman DM, thanks for the bits. I don't know if I need luck when playing this opening. Knight f6. Let's play knight d2. Yeah, this is a line where I learned it. I only discovered it like a year or two ago that white starts with knight d2. If the knight were on f3 and the other knight were on b1, black would have knight e4, followed by f5. But okay, this position we're gonna have some. We could still transpose into some main line. It's gonna play bishop d3. Let's start with knight f3. Bit more flexible. Did he leave? Is this gray? I'm so colorblind. No, it's green. I think it changed though. He left for a moment. Having some internet issues. So b6. Okay, so he's signaling that he wants to play bishop a6. Trade off his bad bishop for my good bishop. Which I can't really stop. Maybe it's one reason I should have played bishop d3 sooner to play queen e2 to stop bishop a6. But, okay, what to do? I'm thinking playing bishop d3 here is a waste of time because he plays bishop a6 and then I probably would want to take. So I'm looking for a useful move just to kind of wait. Debating whether c3 or knight e5. Maybe knight e5. Let's play knight e5. It's usually not played so early, but I think it's reasonable here. e5 is on my control. If he plays bishop a6, I can take. Then maybe play queen e2 with tempo. Hello, Karmar. Good to see you. I am making an effort to focus more on the game than the chat. I will take occasional glances at the chat. Bishop b7 is another idea. So now I think it's time to play bishop d3. And when he plays bishop b7, he's signaling that he wants to play knight e4. Which is actually a very reasonable way of playing. We could get some not really symmetrical position, but some very kind of tense position. Like if he plays knight e4, there's so much tension, which neither of us necessarily want to trade. But now in this position, I think he's missed his opportunity, because now the knight just blocks the bishop from helping control e4. Also, there's a move that I like to play in positions like this. So I think I'll just go ahead and play queen b1. Simple idea, control the diagonal more, control the e4 square, tying the knight down. Like he wouldn't be able to play knight d7 anyway, because I would take on c6, but knight is also tied down to the pawn. Now I think I want to play f4. I could castle any time. I just don't see the reason for castling right now. Wait, what? What just happened there? I thought I played f4, but it put the pawn back. But f4 is a legal move. I don't know how that happened. I was pretty sure I was hovering over the square. Hmm. I'm using a mouse with like at least 5 different buttons. People can see this. It's like one of these gamer mouses. And sometimes I'll like accidentally click a button and it'll do something ridiculous. But okay, f take. I'm very happy to get a pawn to e5. Knight g4. Okay, so he wants to attack. This is an interesting move. Attacking e3, but it seems like my kingside attack should have some potential. In worst case scenario, I have moves like this or this. I would like to play bishop f4, but I'm not actually sure about g5. And if I just castle, he takes. I play rook f3. He goes back. I play h3. The knight's trapped. Sometimes, yeah, the best approach in positions like this, you just have to think about a normal move. Imagine they take whatever they want to take, and then think about how to punish them. Now I'm realizing that castling knight take e3, rook f3, he has knight f5. I could win the pawn back. But then d4 is loose. What to do? I should consider knight f1 seriously, because h3 is a monster threat of simply trapping the knight. He might play queen g5, but then I have bishop f4. And king e2 has similar ideas. I feel like I should play king e2 because my knight wants to go to f3. My king is okay in the center, I think. Let's play king e2. I'm relying on some intuition here. The buttons on the mouse would navigate. Yeah, I think one button will like go back to a previous page. If you navigate away from the page, you don't forfeit though. Your time will just run down if it's your move. This is the second game in a row that I have failed to castle as white. Like the first game I played king f1. This game I'm playing king e2 pretty early. But the center is closed. So when the center is closed, the king is okay just being in the center. Hello, Axe Villager. Good to see you. I usually tend to see the shorter comments, like the people saying hello, like hello to the ice. Who else said hello? Hello, Emil VDW. That was a long time ago. I'm a slow reader, so sometimes the longer comments are difficult to read. I've been pretty well lately. I haven't streamed that much. Like the last time I streamed on Lichess feels like ages ago. For those just joining, I was gonna do Arena Kings, but I was having technical difficulties with lag. So I feel like the classical arena is just a classic thing to do. Just a lot more chill. f6. So he might be sacking. I don't know if it's intentional or unintentional, but after h3 the knight's trapped. I mean, he could take here, I take back, and then he plays this. And it's actually kind of scary. But I'll be up a piece. The other option is to play bishop h7 first and then h3. But then my bishop could get trapped. So I think the strategy Actually, this is. I'm realizing. I was going to say the strategy is to just win a piece and hold on to it and weather the storm. But the storm is pretty scary because after I take the. Why can't I draw arrows? Take. After e4, bishop c2, he has bishop a6. His bishop comes to life. I play king e1. And maybe I have ideas of bishop d1, bishop e2. He has ideas of queen g5. Another idea. After h3, he takes, I take e4, I have bishop b5. Which could be just better. I'm going to play h3. I'm going to win a piece. Things are going to be uncomfortable, but hopefully it's only temporary. Knight take e3. I was vaguely considering this move, but I don't think it's as powerful. Even though my king is on e3. One of the most active pieces. I guess I'll have queen g5 check threats. Actually, yeah, this is also unpleasant. Because queen g5 is threatening to win a piece. So I can play bishop take e5, queen g5, king e2, queen take g2. That's very unpleasant. And there's a move here, h4. This is not what I want to get into, actually. I have to work my way out of it. If I play h4, he wins something on d4. It's a massive center. There's not too many candidate moves. I mean, maybe king e2. But then still queen g5, maybe queen e1. Another candidate move I don't think works, but it's possible, is bishop h7 and queen g6. Preventing queen g5, and then he has rook f6. Yeah, this is difficult. I mean, I think I should play h4. What else? h4, he takes twice on d4. King e2. e5. We're reaching the point where I would rather be black here. Way more fun to play for black. I was probably just really careless with playing king e2 in the first place. But my opponent's logged off. Okay, let me play h4 before he logs back in. That was strange. I think that's already happened twice this game. So the goal is to weather the storm. I think I have to take. I mean, I do have an extra piece. I have two bishops. If he takes with knight, I have bishop take e5, so we'll take with pawn. King e2, only legal move. Yeah, this is sort of what I was scared about. Because e4 is coming, and that's pretty terrifying. And my bishop, it looks like it should be a defender, but it's just fuel for the fire. So I think the plan should be to remove my bishop, like bishop to b5. And just stay alive. That rhymed. Okay. I mean, I'm not getting mated immediately because it's only his rook doing stuff, but his pawns are pretty terrifying. D3 is coming. My queen is out of play. I love pistachios, to the person asking. I'm thinking of a really sad move, but it looks kind of necessary. I want to play it, but what to do? Queen g1. Because my king wants to move back, and my queen wants life. And my rook wants life too. I'm not going to resign. It's too early to resign. My classical rating is pretty low, just relatively. But I guess that's the nature of classical chess. So he's being tricky. He wants to play queen g4 and win the bishop. So king e1 comes to mind. Bishop takes e6 comes to mind. But bishop takes e6, he has queen g4 right away. Queen h2 comes to mind. This looks really bad though. Oh, rook c1 doesn't work. Maybe bishop d6, also a move. Kind of like bishop d6 because it stops knight b4 in many lines. I feel like if he plays accurately, he's just going to crush me. But I think this is my best hope. Have to be active somehow. You would resign here. This is still complex. I mean, material-wise, it's a piece for 3 pawns. If I survive and hold on to my piece, things would be great. The problem is things are not looking so good. Those queens are on the board. He's offline again. And now he's back. I mean, this will happen to me occasionally where I just lose internet. And it's aggravating. Yeah, this is what I was really scared of. Because what do I do? Queen e3. This is really bad. There's still a couple options, like couple ways to try and survive. But nothing looks promising. Knight f3 is one option. Because his rook is hanging. That doesn't seem to work at all. The problem is, okay, queen e2 is a very hard threat to stop. So there's only really two candidate moves, knight f3 and queen e3. Maybe bishop take d3, but that doesn't really do anything. If queen e3 is a very strong move for black, which I might just have to hope he doesn't see. But, I mean, he's going to see it because it's based on the way he's playing. And knight f3, he takes... I can take on f8, he takes on g2, that's a big problem. There's some funny line. I want to okay, I want to just calculate this just for the viewers. Funny calculation. Knight f3. I'm also making the assumption my opponent's not watching, which is probably not true. He probably is watching, but okay, he wouldn't fall into this anyway. So, knight f3, king, pawn take f3, bishop take f8, pawn take g2, so he's threatening mate, so I would play king d2. Let's say he takes a rook and queens. I take on g4. He takes on a1, and I take on g7 with mate. That would be amazing. And I might just play that because it's kind of a natural line for black, even though there's so many ways to win in those lines. But it's at least one trick. And tricks don't exist in other lines. Knight f3, take, king d2. Problem is he has mate in 2 after king d2. I'm so sad. But what else to do? I'm looking for tricks after queen e3, d4. Bishop c4. King h8. Ooh, king h7. I have queen take e4. King h8. Yeah, at this point, I'm on the verge of resigning. Just looking for final shots. Bishop e6. Bishop e6, queen take e6. Queen g3. I'm not surviving that. Okay. Made up my mind. Going for this. It relies on hope. And prayers. Wait, I have bishop to d3 if he takes. Wolfang, thanks for the motivation. If he takes... Okay, so bishop take d3. It's a question of whether I want to... He's offline again. Never seen like someone go offline so many times. I guess his Wi-Fi, just poor connection. Yeah, so I mean, obviously this is going to be played, and then it's a question of whether I want to be hopeful with bishop take f8, or play practical with bishop take d3. This could be a long game if he stays offline and doesn't return for a while. But now he's back. I mean, I assume it's just connection issues. This will happen to me occasionally when the weather's bad. Just lose connection. So the problem is when I take on f8, he takes here. I play king d2. The mate in 2 is so obvious. This is queen e2, queen c2. So I mean, this is my most practical try. And now at least e2 is defended. If he takes, I have rook h2. And what to do? I hope that someday I can take on g2 and threaten g7. I completely forgot about f2. But I can take... Wait. Oh, I sacked back my piece. I'll still take. I have a rook. I have 2 rooks, actually. But 1 rook for the queen. Wow, he doesn't take the queen. Good move. Queen e2 maybe? I was thinking maybe someday I can castle, but my king has literally moved to e3 and then back to e1. So that's not happening. This is just... Yeah, he made a good decision keeping the queen on g4. It's almost time to resign. I'm just curious how he's going to finish me off. Complicated whether he should take with the rook or the queen. Queen e4. What a move. Wait a minute. Is queen e4 made in 2? Queen e4 is made in 2. Was it the only made in 2? I think it was only made in 2. Okay, well let me defend this way. Yeah, very suspicious. For a player to be playing this well and then thinking in this position, I mean, unless it's a troll. Well, that was sad. I don't know if... What do I want to say? Yeah, maybe it was just brilliant play from black. Like this whole idea with sacking on e3. At first it looked unsound, but it was probably... It may have all just been good. Analysis board. It's an interesting line, because I know like this line is played by a lot of like strong players. But then the middle game play was very very strong as well. Everything was strong. Yeah. Look at that graph. This will happen every so often when I play these classical tournaments. What to do?